Greetings, fellow adventurers and storytellers, and welcome to episode 1 of Fail with Hope, where we are playing Daggerheart, the beta rule set. Maybe changing on the full release, which we are excited to see, but we are also excited to share the story that we are telling with all of you, whatever story that might be. We're all waiting to find out. Before we get going, I just wanted to do a quick self-promotion. If you are an enthusiast of TTRPGs, if you're looking for a GM to run a game for you, if you need a table to play at, look me up on startplaying.games, GM Josh. I'd love to run a game for you anytime.
You will not regret it.
No.
And here's a little sample of what you can expect, hopefully. So, we are playing Daggerheart. We've met our adventurers through a session 0. If you would like to check that out, it may be available someday, but there could be spoilers in it that we're keeping secret for now. Welcome to the Kingdom of Tarkon. It is settled in a world that many would claim is still new and young, very untamed. There are dangers and hazards still lurking about in the unexplored wilderness throughout the continent. Civilization has only risen here a few millennia ago, and arcane magic has only been discovered in the last few centuries. In the past few generations, one prince, heir to 2 of the most powerful kingdoms in the land, set out on a successful mission of conquest and unification. Under his banner of the dragon, the people would be united to form a strong front. He now stands as the High King, Augustus Middleton Axelrod Tarkin III, over the other princes who he's left to rule each of their own individual princedoms under the banner of his kingdom. Under his leadership, once rivals and enemies are now forced to work together and share their knowledge and their secrets for the betterment of everyone. Great cities have risen where magic and craft have combined to see the basic needs of all of its citizens seen to. A revolution in magic and technology have thrust this burgeoning kingdom into a new era, an era that you all will be a part of. Perhaps most importantly of all, this new kingdom provides a vast military that keeps the citizens safe from a recent threat that many have begun to call demons. It is outside the borders of this kingdom where we find the protagonist of our story. The safety and security of the Dragon Defender patrols have been left behind for a few days already, as you venture beyond the borders of the kingdom into a place called the Briarwood Forest. Our camera swings down to find the 4 of you just breaking camp, having your breakfast, getting ready to head out further on your journey, on this mission that you are undertaking. And as the camera pans to a certain halfling, what do they see?
She's just finishing her bowl of oatmeal. You see a short halfling woman with short black hair and bangs. It's very, very straight. Very sharp and beautiful features. She wears very tailored clothing. Like this, she was born in her clothes. It's a black suit with a red undershirt and an octopus necklace. And she has a hammer to her side and a shield.
The camera continues to pan around, having to zoom up, pan upwards to this giant figure next to Jax.
Jax, my name is Jax.
So I am a giant. She is very tall, just over 8 feet. She carries a great sword that's fairly rugged. it's sharp, but it has rough edges. It's not one smooth blade. Looks handmade, but finely crafted at the same time. Her armor is made of it's like a plate mail, but sort of held together in places with leathers, made out of lava lizard scales. And she wears her hair in braids in a way that was like very finely done, as if she probably had her hair done every day of her life, and so not a bit out of place. It's just what she does. In the back of her head, you'll see an eye, just between the two braids there, and she has sort of a gentle face, like she's just taking care of herself her whole life, but she does have a scar on her right cheek, possibly from a battle or just a fight that got a little out of hand. And she has a sharpening stone that just looks like it's very carefully placed, not like a normal sharpening stone that you would see, thrown into a bag. It looks like she takes very good care of this rock. And her name is Zira.
The camera continues to pan, coming back down to a more average height, where it sees a furred creature.
So Suni looks like an anthropomorphic cat with violet eyes, and she is a tannish tabby fur color, and dresses in warm colors, so reds and browns and yellows. And she carries a red whip and
Like a licorice whip?
Sweet.
and I believe a wand. Yes.
Just love the cat with the whip.
Just dangle it when I get bored.
And the camera finally pans to the final member of this party, sitting about this smoldering fire before you head out further on this mission you've been given to see.
Da, you see Yevhen Darosla sitting on a log has been rolled close to fire, and he's have gray-green scales. He's dragon person, Dracona. You are all familiar, of course. And crooked horns put him at standing maybe just over 6 feet. Is a little less than average for my people. But also you see beneath his plain leather armor and his grey mantle with sigil of convocation pinning down, you see on right leg he is have below sort of skirt of tunic, don't think too much about. He is have a glowing sort of artifact that looks like it is brace, and you know from travel with him that he is have not walk very easily. Does not walk very easily, and the brace is only thing that make it so that he can walk even close to normal, but still he is have halting walk. And next to him, lying on log, is long staff of dark wood that have at top carved to hold a polished white crystal, and sometimes you see it flicker just a little bit with bits of magic. His eyes are golden, but sometimes they are, when he is casting, they flash white as power flow through him.
Oh.
And, his scales, maybe you would say, if you have ever seen tornado, they look like color of sky before tornado.
Oh.
And Yevhen is the reason you all have been brought together on this mission. Having recently graduated from the academy in the capital of Sanctuary, your former professor and now your guide, your contact with the convocation, asked you to undertake your first mission.
Da.
And he did let you know that in some regards it was a personal mission for him. He wants you to go and find his friend, another member of the convocation, Verlo Adesi,
We are looking for Verlo Adesi.
a fungrel who was last known to be heading into the Briarwood Forest to a small settlement here in the forest known as Glade Hollow. And as you start to break camp to continue your travels, you think, best estimation, as this is outside of the kingdom, it's off the maps for most people, your best estimation is you'll probably get to Glade Hollow sometime today. And as you start to pack your things up, finish the last of your breakfast here on the trail that you're on in the woods, Jax, there is myths and rumors about the Briarwood Forest. It's a dark, creepy, unsettling place. A place where people shouldn't want to live. But there are people that do live here. What is it about these woods that you find so unsettling?
Besides just the outside of being in
Just
nature. I don't really do this often, except for when I've only started going outside a lot.
It's like the white zinc on
I
big
noticed
sun hat.
You want to bring a special glove to be outside?
Oh yeah, my hands are
The-
gloved. Yes.
the-
The what was your question?
What do you find so
Unsettling.
unsettling about these woods?
I always feel like there are eyes peering from behind the trees at every step we take. I feel always watched by something. It could just be a squirrel. I don't like it.
You have seen something.
I feel like they see me.
And it is having left the borders of the kingdom itself, the road you're on is no longer patrolled by the dragon defenders. You have encountered a few wild denizens of the woods, been stalked by a few of its predators, but so far have handled things well enough. And you kind of have this feeling, the further you're getting from the kingdom, the more wild and dangerous the world is becoming. Less civilized, as it were. But you pack up the last of your things, this feeling of eyes watching you everywhere you go, and the deep canopy giving this still twilight appearance to the morning landscape around you. You can hear a small stream babbling off somewhere in the distance, and the crunch and snap of twigs and other leaf litter at your feet as you gather up the last of your things and continue on following this, not a road, more than a path, but somewhere in between. It's enough of a distinguishable path that you can follow it, but it's like to bring a cart down this would be quite difficult. Not a lot of traffic through this forest here.
And we have a map, or we are just been told there is way.
You have as good of a map as could be provided for this reason. It is somewhat unexplored, but you have a good enough map again that you know that Glade Hollow should be within the next day. You know the general direction that you need to be going, and if you get lost, kind of the waterways and landmarks to look for to not get completely lost.
And there is, you said path, but not the road.
Correct.
No. Okay. I think if everyone is done, we are have breakfast, pack up, we're good to go. Okay. Let
Yeah.
us, how you are saying, hit old dusty trail.
Oh,
That what they
is
say?
that what they say?
That is, I have heard. That is what people are saying when they are travel. This is not dusty, but is trail.
It's
Oh.
dusty enough.
Okay.
And,
Every trail I have was like sand. So.
Hitch your packs over your back and begin down this trail through the Briarwood Forest. And it is a well-named forest, as thorns, prickers, and spikes seem to grow on nearly every surface you see, whether it be tree, vine, bushes, or other leafy vegetation on the ground. Everything seems to be wanting to poke and scrape you.
Can I climb up on your shoulders? Thank you.
You want me to carry you?
I just want to sit on top of you.
Me?
Yes,
Why not him?
because you're 8 feet tall.
Well, he's tall. What?
you are a see. I have leg brace.
Well,
Why?
all right, fine, just this one time. But you know, it's not every day people are asking me for favors like that. So you know,
But
if
I
that's,
feel like now blocking her eyesight.
it's
I
like
sit on the one shoulder.
it's like a lot of touching.
I don't like it either.
Okay. All right. I mean, the path isn't really like wide enough for me either. So I mean, you're still probably gonna get caught in some stuff there. As I like keep having to pull my sharpening stone out of the brush, it just because it like dangles off my belt, it just keeps getting stuck in there. Fine. And I kneel so you can climb on.
Just like brush off my suit, make sure nothing got on it.
And you're just like riding on one shoulder so you don't obstruct her her like back eye.
God, this is like real weird.
Yeah. Like that's
From your vantage point, Jax, please make an instinct roll. So you're going to roll your duality dice, your 2d12, add your instinct, and if you want to spend a hope, you all have 2 hope, don't forget. If
You
want
have 3 hope.
3 hope, thanks to the...
Thanks to
We all have
moi.
3 hope.
Yes.
Nice.
We start a session with 1 hope because of me.
And it's still always just the D12s. That
Yes.
For the most part.
hope. Okay.
Every once in a while, your duality dice might change, but...
And I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Plus your
1.
instinct
1.
for a total of...
Am I rolling them together?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 12.
And which is higher, hope or fear?
Hope.
So you got a 12 with hope.
12 with hope.
You take a hope, and this constant feeling of being watched, of eyes everywhere, you just can't shake it. And from up here on top of Zira's shoulders, kind of looking over the bushes and shrubs around you. And then you actually do see a pair of eyes looking out kind of from behind a rock over towards you. What appears to be a human woman, middle-aged maybe, with a kind of scarf over her head. She looks a bit dirty, eyes kind of wide, and as soon as she kind of sees you looking over, she ducks back behind the stone.
There is actually somebody looking at us.
Well, you said that you feel eyes the whole time. Are you sure there's actually a person?
Yep.
I look over. Do I see anything?
You look over, whatever was Jax had seen has hidden itself from view. If there was anything there.
You want to come out? Show yourself.
As you say this from behind this stone, and you can see it's only about chest high, a woman does stand up, kind of hands up in the air. She's like, please, I didn't mean to startle you. I was just keeping an eye out. She steps out from behind the stone, the boulder.
You are watch us.
I was watching the road, yes.
For what? For what you do?
For danger. I was trying to get to the kingdom. They say it's safe there.
We are come from kingdom. There is safety there. But we are not go towards kingdom, as you are see. We look for a place called Glade Hollow, you know?
Yeah, yes, I'm from Glade Hollow.
You could show us way.
I would rather not go back. She kind of looks over her shoulder and she just says, I have to get my children somewhere safe.
Ooh, did something happen there? Like chaos or destruction?
I don't know. I should have listened to my brother when he moved back to the kingdom a month ago. He'd said it would be safer there, but this is our home in the Briarwood. But I don't know. A few weeks ago, Jana, my wife, I don't know, she's usually such a sweet, kind woman, but she was so angry. She was violent. She tried to strike me, was yelling at the children. I took them and I fled in the night. I've been traveling slowly, trying to avoid any of the dangers.
So she's still back there, all angry?
Yes,
Are there any others that are angry too?
I do not know.
You didn't just want to, like, I don't know, go to a neighbor's house?
The things she said, the way she was acting, they terrified me so. And there was a fire. When we came outside, I saw one of my neighbor's homes was burning. And I don't know, I just felt like we had to run.
You are talk like this is problem with town.
Things seem to be off. I don't know. As I said, I've lived there my whole life and things felt wrong.
What has changed?
I can't place my finger on it exactly. I wasn't even sure if it was just my imagination or not until she came home and started yelling, and she was just so violent. She's never like this.
She wasn't just drunk?
No, she enjoys her wine, but she never gets like this. She seemed coherent other than just so angry.
She's tell you what she is angry about when she is yelling. Or there is something that has happened.
The house wasn't clean, that the children's things were all over the floor, but they had just started to clean up, and we always clean up just before she comes home. She was so angry. I don't know why she was so upset. At this point, from behind her off in the woods, you hear a child scream. And then you hear a second, smaller voice, Mama! Her eyes go wide, she turns and darts off.
I follow her.
Oh!
Come on.
You're losing trail. Okay.
You all run off into the woods with her. Yarla runs through the woods, dodging between all the different briars and brambles. There seems to be somewhat of a game trail that she is following, until you can see she is approaching what appears to be a ring of trees with these thick brambles and bushes growing between them. She is headed for a small gap among these trees and bushes. And as she runs up towards this opening, you can see beyond what looks like a small rustic camp set at the far end of this little enclosure. And near the center of it, thrusting up out of the ground, is what looks to be a massive stone hand. And on the palm and on the fingertips of that hand, you can see two very small children. The girl maybe only 10, 12 years old, and the young boy with her probably 5 or younger. They are up on top of this hand. The little boy is kind of like locked in fear, his eyes wide, tears running down his face. And the girl has what looks to be a stick in her hands as she's screaming out. You can see around these bushes and thorny vines that grow around the base of this arm thrust up out of the ground. Some of these vines, covered in these sharp, pointed spikes, are slithering and snaking their way up towards the children. Just as you get to this opening, you see the young girl swings the stick, sending a piece of this branch vine hurtling over into the opening in front of you. Yarla behind is just like, "My children, no!" And we will go into action mode in this moment as the children are under threat.
Okay.
Every moment counts. In this instance, you all have the action is on you. You can make whatever moves you would like to make. Based on your character, obviously. And every time you use an action, we will slide over an action token. If you fail a roll, or you fail or succeed with fear, the action comes over to me, and I can make as many moves as tokens you have provided me. But in this moment, you have your map here in front of you, and let me get the stream caught up with us as to the battle map here. That should be working there. And get our music into some.
Well, but this is like all the dice I've
Something
had
setting the
that I've never used.
Yeah, D12s. Whoever uses D12s.
When I was at Gen Con and I was like looking around for these, I was like trying to find some like cool D12s because there's all sorts of cool D20s, and people, every single dice person was like, "Why do you need D12s? Like,
Just
no one
wait.
ever asks for these."
Do you
And
just
I was
love
like,
barbarians?
Daggerheart, bro.
Do you even Daggerheart?
Daggerheart.
So the action is on all of you. You can see in front of you this little circle clearing that they have made their camp in. The children up on that hand and the thorny vines beneath. Some of them seem to be animate in trying to go after the children. You are free to act however you like.
I act a fool.
To the audience, Daggerheart does not use an initiative system. The players get to go and act until they fail a roll or a roll with fear, and then I get to make some moves to counteract what they've done. And we kind of bounce the story back and forth that way rather than a set initiative.
So these are, what are these
The
tokens?
animate
What?
vines.
There's the animate vines. And on the spell Ice Spikes, it says, make a spellcast roll to summon large ice spikes within very far range.
Okay.
If you use them as a weapon, on a success, deal d6 physical damage using your proficiency. The wording of that is a little unclear. How many of these animate vines do you think I could ice spike?
That was the whole spell. Read it to me again.
That's the whole spell as it appears on my character sheet. It might appear in
I would think that's the whole thing.
more link somewhere else, but let me just do a quick search.
I think in general things target one thing unless they say otherwise.
Okay. Here, wait. Something on Reddit says in the 1.2 open beta, there's an additional wording that says you may also treat them as a ranged weapon against a target or group, but I don't know if that's the official thing or not. But one would imagine ice spikes, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, even with a group, they're not close enough to get any kind of a group unless you were trying to hit the kids too.
Oh, really? Okay. Then, in that case, I will do something different.
Green
And-
squiggles.
Very far range, yes. Very far range is pretty much you can hit anything on this map.
Okay. Very far range, I can hit anything on the map. Could I hit them in far range?
Far range is about the length of a piece of paper, so around 12 squares, about 60 feet.
Okay, so something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's far range. Oh, that is not as good as I would hope. Okay, in that case, I will ice spike You said but I would hit the kids if I hit that one?
No, so to hit a group, you
Got
would
it.
have to hit the kids.
Okay.
But if you want a single target, I would say that particular vine is on the other side of the wrist, so you don't have line of sight on it.
Then
So you could hit that closer one next to the boy.
this one.
Mm-hmm.
As we are all, I think, running. You guys are in front probably because you took off first. But also, I don't know. I'm not, as you have seen, very fast. I am sort of along behind, but I am pause for a moment and raise up Steph, and you feel crackle of energy from behind, and then you see from ground erupt. Blue-white spike of ice, shard of ice, piercing vine. We hope. We don't really know yet since I have not rolled.
We'll see.
So I am roll both dice.
Yep. And you said it's a spellcast roll.
Is spellcast roll? It says +2 spellcast roll on my thing, which I assume is for knowledge, which is +2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I need to say which one is fear and which one is
Yep.
hope. Okay.
And I would say in general, keep it the same.
Yeah. I am thinking that purple is fear, and green like me is hope.
Okay.
One moment while I take note.
So you'll roll the 2d12, add your knowledge, and if you want to use an experience, you can spend a hope to use an experience, and then tell me the total, whether it's hope or fear.
Okay.
And that is one action.
Those are pretty good rolls. I think I am roll 12 with hope. That is how I say that?
12 with hope.
Da.
A 12 misses.
12 misses.
You see this ice spike.
Oh no, excuse me. I am not adding my modifier. 14.
14 just hits.
Oh, that is good. It is good. And just for future clarification, if I want to use experience to add +2, I have to tell you before you say that?
In general, any bonuses you want to add to the rolls, you have to add before you know.
Okay.
You actually are supposed to add them before you even roll.
Da. Oh, that is good to know.
So, like, if you roll low, it's too late to say, I want to add this bonus.
I am not look for a little flicker in eye.
But
Okay.
yeah, unless it says otherwise, in Daggerheart, you have to add your bonuses before you even roll.
Yeah, I am here. Okay, so 14 with hope.
14 hits that vine.
And I am roll d6 physical damage using my proficiency and then add 1 extra damage die and drop lowest. So I am roll 2d6, drop lowest. Using proficiency means what?
Your proficiency usually starts at 1,
Da.
and so that's 1d6. Once your
Okay.
proficiency is 2, it's 2d6.
Okay. So I roll.
Oh, it says an active with there's a proficiency thing.
Da,
Yeah.
I see.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I roll 2d6, I drop lowest is 6.
Okay.
Okay.
So you do 6 damage.
Da, I guess so.
6 is above their major threshold, so they take 2 hit points.
Ooh.
And then I will continue to move. How is move and action work? I can move it within very close range, easy.
Yep, with your action, you can move either before or after.
Okay. I will move as far as I can towards this, but obviously I am moving slowly.
So you've got about 3 squares you can move.
Okay.
Do you want me to move for you, or do you have it on you?
I think I will try. Let me try first, and then we will see.
And as you're moving, you have gotten a success, so the action remains on all of you.
I would like to know. I know we were talking about the ranges there,
Oh
but
no, I'm moving
so
group. I don't know why.
moving across the battlefield. Now I understand you can't move, hit, and move.
Correct.
But what is our movement?
Alright, try.
In general, you can move within, it's pretty much like 5 feet. You can move 30 feet.
30 feet.
No matter who you are.
You can move 6 squares.
And so if I
If you want to move further than that, it requires rolls, or you just use your action to run full speed.
okay, and then so because I'm not rolling in that
You can
turn, we maintain the
There you
action.
go.
Put me.
To just move, if you just move 30 feet, you can still act.
Is all I can do.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't know if I'll make 30 feet. I'm just trying to figure out
Oh, okay.
where my icon is as I orient to using the map here.
30 feet will just get you in melee of the closest vine.
Okay. And in the past of traveling with Jax, Jax doesn't typically like to get up close
Hell
and
yeah, I
personal.
do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so I carry Jax all the way up there because I actually am not. I ignore burden when I equip weapons, and it sounds like Jax is a weapon.
I thought you were gonna call me a burden.
No, you're not a burden.
You ignore me because I'm a burden.
That
No,
I think
I mean-
is more of a psychological statement.
But I don't have a bunch of weapons equipped. I just have my one, so I wouldn't be
I'll
burdened
slide
by
off
that.
you too. It's okay.
I
can
will.
move
I will allow this maneuver you're trying to do, with the price being that Jax cannot move on her own.
Okay, well, I'm making decisions for Jax now. I hope they're good.
That's right. I've just been holding on this whole time anyway. Just like, oh my god.
So I'm gonna move on up there. Let me try to make that work. Oh, nope. Nope. Maybe I could just have help this time.
I got you.
Thanks.
Oop.
And
I
then
started to do it too.
I will.
And
I will
Jax on your shoulders.
continue to practice how to do that. Well, can Jax move within melee if I'm moving Jax all the way up there?
No, because the vine is on the ground and you're 8 feet tall.
What if I turn
Is melee
around?
close range?
No, melee is adjacent.
Oh, okay.
Close is.
I don't need to be on it.
Okay, great. Just trying to remember how Jax prefers to fight, because we've done that so many times before. With my great sword, we're learning here. I have to roll to attack first. Okay, so that's what we'll do here. And my red one reminds me of the lava at home, which really stresses me out. So red is fear.
Okay.
Hey.
And my golden one, like my eyes, is my hope. And
If I have succeeded with hope, so I gain hope.
Yes.
Okay.
and so for the folks at home here,
Just so they understand.
Obviously, we
Yeah.
all know the system perfect.
yeah, we
Perfect.
do this all the time here. Attacking with my weapon, I know my modifier is my
I would guess your strength. It should say on the weapon.
great sword.
Yeah, I'm the top.
Strength +1. That's it. That's all I have is just a +1.
You have your primary
Is that your
weapon.
strength?
Because mine says like right here, it's like primary weapon is my axe.
Yes.
+2 to strength and then a D and whatever you
And
think
for my
is.
damage, yeah. Okay.
Actually, yeah, that is a question because mine says
I'm just used to a level 20 paladin and
Yeah.
5e, so
Yeah.
Welcome to level 1.
Okay,
Level
so
1.
I rolled a 9 with fear.
A 9 with fear. The vine squirming along the ground. It looks like it was trying to get back to the kids. But as you approach, it quickly turns towards you as well, and it skirts outside the reach of your greatsword, avoiding your hit. On a miss, the action comes over to me.
Aw, shucks, Beav.
oh, come on.
Now I don't take a stress for that, right? I just
Nope.
don't get a hope.
Correct.
Okay.
But if she succeeded with the stress, succeeded with fear,
I still get to go.
Because it
would
was
she get
fear.
stress?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're learning, folks. I'm just learning it from you guys. I know what I'm doing. Totally.
All right. I will use one of these action tokens that you have given me for that vine closest to you. It begins to wrap and spin itself all over and around both of you. It marks a stress. To use its spinning attack against all targets within very close range.
I'm not in very close range.
You are in very close range.
Oh, sorry. When I fail a roll with fear, I gain a hope, so I'm just gonna go ahead and
There
take
you
that.
go. So this attack is against both of you for a dirty 20, natural 18.
That's severe
Both of
damage.
us?
No, this is against your evasion.
My evasion is 8.
Okay, so it hits.
Yeah, mine's a 10.
Hits. I need other than a d20 here.
Okay, we're gonna learn about armor and
We're going to
HP.
learn about damage and armor. So it has succeeded against your evasion.
You don't have the armor.
We'll
The
get
armor
to that
to
part. It is going to do 6 points of physical damage. You can mark an armor slot to reduce the 6 by your armor score.
Okay.
So whatever your armor score is, you can mark multiple armor slots if you wanted to.
Okay.
And you want to reduce it
And
down past kind of past the threshold, right?
Right. So if it is between your major, if it's below your major threshold, you'll take 1 hit point. If it's between major and severe, you take 2. Oh, excuse me. Below major is no damage. Major to severe is 2. Is 1. Severe and up is 2.
You said so. You said 6.
It's 6 physical damage.
My minor damage is 8,
Okay.
so I wouldn't take any hit points anyway.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Without even using an armor slot.
You got yours figured out down there, Zira?
I realized I was on the wrong character sheet. So, that's probably why everything wasn't what I thought it was. But yeah, so I have minor damage of 7, so we're taking 6 damage, so I just mark 1 HP.
No, you mark no HP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Below your major.
Below your minor.
So I just
How
soaked
about
it all
helps
there.
then?
Does it have minor for you?
I have minor
full
damage,
spell.
major damage, severe damage.
Ah, so that is an issue we might have to rectify.
But it's like
Oh,
numbers in the
the-
middle of the
Yes, but the newest version of Daggerheart, there's no more minor. It was
Oh.
just major, severe.
oh, okay. So it's
Oh.
8 is our major, and severe is
So
our.
I should have double checked your sheets. Let me give you your
There's only
actual.
2 numbers anyway.
Let me give you your actual. Yours sounds like it's right.
What is yours?
No.
Does yours?
No, it's
That's
like
weird.
3. There's minor, major, and severe, but there's only like I have a 5 and a 10. as my
Minor
numbers.
threshold does not exist.
Yeah.
There is a major
Yeah, I
threshold.
have an 8 and a 16.
and
But like I would, so minor starts at 0. Then if I don't know.
No, there's no minor.
Yeah, even though it's listed,
Well,
we're ignoring.
no.
No,
Wait.
it's like minor is below 7.
No, he's saying that in the newest version of the
Yeah.
rules, yeah.
So it doesn't
But
exist.
Reading this,
Right.
I'm confused because there's
So
only
it doesn't
2
exist.
numbers.
Just don't look at it.
So that means my major damage is 5 and my
It
severe
means your major damage is
10.
So
yeah.
anything above 5 and below your severe, you take 1 hit
Oh,
point.
you know what? I only have 2 numbers. It says minor
Yes.
damage,
There you
major
go.
damage, and severe
Yes.
damage.
Yep.
But there's 2 numbers.
there's
So if
two
it is,
numbers.
it is below major, that is minor damage. If you're below
Ah.
your major threshold, that's minor damage
Okay.
that you don't take. Major to severe threshold, below severe, above major, equal or above major, you take 1 hit point. Anything above severe, you
Oh.
take 2.
So these
Yeah,
all
so
say,
these say
1
wrong.
HP for
Those are
minor,
wrong.
2
So
HP for major, and 3 for severe.
So that's
and
just
you're
a
saying we
shift
just
it.
shift
Yeah.
one.
It's
less.
1 for major and 2 for severe.
Wow.
That's nice, actually. I like that.
Because we only
One-
have
wait.
like 6 HP.
Yeah.
1 for major and 2 for severe.
Yeah. So whatever these numbers are underneath,
And we
shift
just
them over.
ignore.
You
0, 1,
ignore
2.
minor.
Instead of 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
It's 0, 1, 2.
0, 1, 2 instead of 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Learning together, everybody.
Yeah.
Minor is nothing.
I'm just double checking the rules because I've read 3 different versions of the rule set in the past.
It'll probably change.
So I just want to make sure we're getting that right. Good old beta. Give me the table of contents. Sorry about this. One moment.
Much realize that I was speaking the mic.
Yeah. No food for Hudson.
But the chips though.
Oh.
They have the salties.
Yeah, severe damage is
I don't know.
equal to
Are they
above.
chewy chips?
Severe.
Sorry, let's get this all straight last time. Version 1.5. Severe damage equal to or above your severe threshold. You mark 3 hit points.
Okay.
Okay.
Major damage below severe but equal to or above major. You take 2. Minor damage, anything below major, you take 1.
Okay, so it
Okay,
is as
so
a-
our sheets are
our
correct.
sheets are good.
Yep.
So we do take 1.
So we take 1 point damage.
Yes.
But you could reduce
You could
that
reduce the
I mean, but
damage
you'll
all the way to
still have-
0.
if you marked off enough armor slots. Each armor slot is the amount of armor. Reduce it by the amount of armor.
I'm also
Why do you
confused
just
why
take
I'm
the armor
not
slots
wearing
here?
the armor I chose.
I have
to
a
equip.
thing that says armor slots next to my arm.
Yeah, but
When you
like
go to
I
your
don't have that
equipment.
filled. How do
Yeah.
I know?
It says 0 out of 7.
What armor are you wearing?
I'm wearing the gambles.
Gambles.
You might have to
Yeah.
equip it too, because I had to equip.
I
mine.
did. It's
Yeah.
active.
Yeah. So then it
Yeah.
says 6. Mine says 6.
Mine says 4. And you just have 7 armor slots. Every
Yeah.
character has
I
7
think
armor
you started
I
with
have
an
6.
extra armor
I
slot.
started with 7. Yeah, okay. I started with an extra one because of my scales.
Yeah,
or
and I have
something.
6.
No, because of my School of War.
So how much should this armor be filling my armor slots? Because it's not doing that.
It doesn't say 0 out of something on your armor
It
slot.
says 0 out of 6.
So
But
there you
if
go.
I'm
You have
wearing armor, shouldn't it be
No, you
You
have
have your armor score, right? It says your armor score.
3?
Every time you use one of those 6 slots, you reduce the damage by 3.
So it's 3, 6, 9.
So right now you have
12.
used 0 of 6 slots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you take damage, you can mark a slot and reduce it by your armor.
It's like I
Uh,
could use 2 armor slots right now to take 0 damage, but I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just gonna take.
Paul says, "Get him, Jax."
Hey.
So
hi,
now
baby.
that I have equipped the armor
Yep.
that I should be wearing, it did lower my evasion to
So it's
8.
still hit.
Okay, but so my armor is 6, so I will use an armor slot to soak
Okay.
it all.
Yep.
Okay.
So you use 1 armor slot. The second activation that I will use, the one of these other vines starts to squirt toward you.
Ew.
And you can see this almost like a sack at one end of the vine seems to be kind of swelling up with this bubbling, sappy liquid. Do, 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 do. So that is introducing its spitter attack, which is a d6. Fear. Get rid of my fear. The other 2 vines continue haranguing the 2 children up above, but I'm out of action tokens, so they are not currently harming them. As you can see, they're trying to get to the kitties. I've used all of my tokens. The action is back on you.
The kitties. I'm like, oh
Uh-huh.
man, what?
Are we reading Quiller here?
I mean, you wanna go?
Okay. I still have very little clue what I'm doing. So I can move 30 feet in
Mhm.
this.
You can move within close range. You could cast a spell. You could use one of your weapons.
I could cast Arcane Barrage, but it's like a once per short rest thing.
Okay.
So I don't really have any other spells that would be useful.
I think usually your weapon has a ranged attack.
Oh, I was wondering about that. My great staff just says like 1d6 magical very far range.
Yeah,
so that's
so it
also
can
just like
blast.
a
Yep.
pew pew.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
It's kind of your cantrip.
Okay.
Far
I wasn't sure about that. I was gonna ask it later.
6. Okay, so I could use the wand. It's a far down. Would I be able to hit this?
Yes, with far, yes.
Okay. So I guess I will do that. And that I need a d6 bar. How do I roll?
So you're going to roll your duality dice, your 2d12. One of them is your hope, one of them is your fear. Make sure you declare that now.
Hope is the dark one, fear is the light
You
one.
roll both of them, add your modifier. If you want to spend a hope to use an experience, you could do that as well.
Okay, so I add the fear and the
Yep,
hope.
add them both up.
Okay. So 17.
Plus
Wait.
your...
You add them together?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah,
And
that's
then
why it's
whatever
a
the
bell
highest
curve. It's
one-
an average.
Oh.
you're always adding
okay, then
them
I rolled way higher than I said.
You still hit.
I still hit, but yeah, way higher.
And then whatever
Wait, did I
the...
miss what?
No, you just add both of these.
So add those 2 dice.
Oh!
Add your modifier, whatever
still
your
need
weapon
this.
says to use.
Well, he's still with
Knowledge.
because you rolled really high with fear.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
it's a
10.
19 total.
And is it hope higher or fear higher?
Fear is high.
So you got a 19 with fear.
Okay.
That is how you say what you roll.
And I succeeded at hitting.
You succeed at hitting, but you give me a fear and an action token.
Okay.
You can do your damage.
So then I just rolled a d6 plus 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6 total.
6 total, which is another major damage on that vine.
Good, good.
It is starting to be hacked apart. Little bits of it encrusted in ice. What does that look like when you blast from your wand?
Magical sand dust that will like scrape and cut at the vine.
Just like a little pressure washer, sandblaster,
Yeah.
Yes.
CNC machine.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I can move,
You can move.
and that was 30, right? Each square is
Roughly,
5
yeah.
feet. Okay.
I will use terms like that because it's what we're familiar with, but movement and measurement is much more fluid in Daggerheart. It's like the narrative is always first. So
So I'll move there.
okay, you move in and you can see a bit of there seems to be another vine that your view was blocked from before on the far side of that wrist, the column of a wrist sticking out of the ground. There's another of these vines slapping at the kids trying to crawl up towards them on the palm. You did roll with fear though, which puts the action back on me. Well, I will use that token to see if this sap bursts, and it does not. Yes, okay. Which it does not do. It will use its movement to come up and join the party. I've used all my action tokens. It is back on you.
Okay, I take my hallowed axe.
That was a hammer.
Oh, it's an axe. It's a hammer. Because it's Thor's hammer. I think of Thor's. Okay, I take my
The
take
alliteration.
my axe.
The hallowed hammer.
Um,
Hallowed hammer axe.
That's where the other H. It's a hollowed axe.
It's empty
I
inside.
take my axe
Yes.
and from a pie
Like a
on top of my giant friend, I
Mhm.
throw my axe because it needs close range.
You have to throw it? Or you...
I can. I'm not
Yeah,
in
okay, you
melee
can.
range.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're up on the shoulders, I'd say you're at close range.
That's fine. I throw the axe down to hit the vine.
The hammer.
The axe.
The hammer axe. The axe hammer.
Whatever.
Switching it.
I thought it was a hammer.
I thought it was too, and I forgot. I've never played this character before. It's an axe. I throw my axe down to strike the enemy in close range.
Okay. Roll your duality, add your modifier, tell me if it's hope or fear.
Because whatever. Mark a stress to target an additional target in range with the same attack roll. Is that this other vine
You're
too?
both in close range.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll try it. I'll add a stress.
Okay.
my suit got a little ripped, so now I'm a little stressed, and I want to kill these vines. And I will attack.
So when you're attacking multiple targets, you roll once, and you'll compare that to both of them.
Okay. Ooh, I rolled 2 10s.
2 10s is a critical.
Woo!
So on a critical hit, you gain a hope.
Woo!
She's so
You clear a
hopeful.
stress.
Woo!
What is your damage? What do you roll for damage?
A
on that?
D10.
So you're going to do maximum 10
Yeah.
plus your D10 plus your whatever modifier you have if you have one.
I have 1. Only 1, but I have 2 strength. Okay, it's not 5e.
Nope.
12, 13. Magical damage.
13 magical damage.
Hell yeah.
The first vine crumbles
1d4 physical.
to dust. The second vine, 13 you said, that is severe damage. So it takes 3 hit points. And that was critical, so it's a roll with hope technically. So the action is still on all of you. If you would like to move, you would have to extricate yourself from the giant shoulders, or you can just stay up there. Seems to be working out pretty well.
I'm okay up here.
At some point, I'm going to continue blasting at these guys over here, so maybe I'll just... Unless you want to hit this thing in front of you first?
No, the kids.
Yeah.
Help those kids!
I am try. Use other spell now that I know Great Steph has own attack.
There isn't then an opportunity attack here then.
I have attacks of opportunity.
Yeah. Some creatures will. It's not everyone has it all the time.
Oh, okay.
But some creatures will have reactions to do that kind of thing.
So would that happen if on your turn you ran, she could hit you?
If she has that reaction.
Okay.
And I do.
Cool. Sorry. Continue.
And I'm guessing it says that is a reaction roll.
It's an agility reaction, so I would
So-
roll against your difficulty, whatever that
Yep.
means.
And just so everyone is aware, on a reaction roll, you do not gain hope, and I cannot gain fear. Reaction rolls are outside of the hope and fear economy.
Sorry to interrupt.
So you blast them with your staff.
Yes. Would we say that this is this feels like a battle mage moment? I don't know. I mean,
Again, experiences, unless you abuse it, experiences are up to you. If
Okay.
you want to spend the hope to use an experience, you can.
Mhm.
If it makes sense in your mind that that's how that experience fits this situation.
Oh.
If I feel you're abusing it, I will start to be more firm with it. But in general, if you want to use an experience, do it. That is on you for you to decide whether this fits your character's experiences.
This is battle mage moment.
Saving the children.
Use hope. For, let's see, 17 with fear.
17 with fear does hit.
Okay.
What does this blast look like?
This is pure staff energy. Is have
It's big staff energy.
Big staff energy.
This is big staff energy. Crystal at the top is glow, brighter, 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 and then all light is focused down into pew pew.
A needle point?
That is exactly. It's like needle
Like a
point.
light, like a laser pointer.
With no, it's like but it speeds out from crystal with glowing, sparkling tail, and because I am succeeded with fear, I do extra 1d10 magic damage, and because it's a
Ooh.
staff, I am.
Use an action, use a
Is
fear.
this him? Or is this him?
Gotta remember to keep track of all my resources.
Okay.
That him?
So
I see the light
This is
coming
it.
and I just duck you out of the way there.
Ah!
2d6. And so that is that is good. That is 15 magical damage.
15
Wow.
is severe with that one that you had ice spiked.
And,
So it also crumbles.
take that.
Leaves falling off of it. its thorny protrusions breaking apart as that one also crumbles away and becomes inert once again.
And
But
I
you
continue to move.
okay? You may do so.
But I'm trying to stay behind you guys, you know? It is. Why am I not able? This is not working so well on my end. There. Yes.
Oh.
No, like where Courtney dot is. Thank you.
I tried to move you.
Why you want next time? Just
If it is okay, I will just tell you.
So, that was a successful attack, but with fear. So the action comes back onto me. I will use one activation to see if he gets his... Ooh, on a 6, his sap bubble does burst open.
Oh.
To spend a fear. Oh no, he spent a fear to activate it. Sorry. All targets in front of the snake within far range. So that will be the giant, the halfling, and the dracona.
Did you say snake?
Vine. Sorry.
That was my hard line, Josh.
I know. That's why they're vines. Within far range. So the three of you each make an agility reaction roll.
Oh,
boy.
jeez, old Pete.
Your difficulty is 14.
Agility, I'm not good at that. Is it both die again?
Yep. Yeah, almost every time you roll, you roll both die. Add them up, put your modifier on it, tell me hope or fear.
We have to make it to 14.
Okay.
Yep.
5.
Now, if I'm rolling this with disadvantage, what does that mean? We talk about it.
So disadvantage is you take a d6
Mhm.
and subtract that from your total.
Got it.
I rolled a 5 with hope. I failed with hope.
You don't get hey, fail with hope.
She said the thing!
I said the thing!
You don't gain hope on a reaction roll.
Yeah.
20
Woo! That
With
is a success.
fear.
I don't get fear on reaction rolls.
Okay, I'm
so
just
it's
gonna keep
success.
saying it until I get that. In
No,
number.
say it every time.
Yeah.
It is 10 with fear.
So that is also a fail. So those of you that fail, as this bubbling sap bursts out of it, you take 9 damage.
Oh, I don't like.
Just to be clear, we're adding both die together.
Yes.
Add both together. And your
Whatever the
modifiers.
higher one.
Just felt like I was cheating for a second because I got a -1 to agility. So
That's why players are much more likely to hit the average on a bell curve because they're rolling 2 dice. So you're going to hit that average more often, whereas I'm rolling the d20. I'm much more likely to swing one way or the other.
So I have just one quick question.
Go for it.
Because I have prayer dice.
Yes.
At the beginning of each session, I rolled my dice.
Mhm.
I got an 8.
Okay.
2d4. Out of my 2d4.
Well, you don't add it up. Each die is an individual prayer die.
Okay, well then I got 2 4s. So
Okay.
I can spend one or more of these dice at any time
Mhm.
to aid yourself or an ally. So I have
Really?
2 of them
Mm-hmm.
to spend 1 time and 2 time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can't use them again
Until next session.
until next session. Cool.
And you'll eventually get features that's like recharge your hope die, or you get an extra hope die, or re-roll a hope die, or
Okay.
a prayer die, sorry.
Okay.
I just realized for my character that I have strange patterns, which is like I'm supposed to choose a number. And then whenever I roll that number on a duality die, I gain a hope or clear stress.
So choose that number.
So I want that to be a set.
but nothing on
Got it.
success.
Nothing on a success, right?
Nothing on a success.
And if you did take damage, since we were talking about this earlier, I just learned that there's a very useful calculate damage
Oh yeah,
button.
I think there is a.
Yeah, super
It'll
useful.
help you out with the armor.
Oh, look at
and-
that.
Right above the damage threshold, it's on the left. It says calculate damage.
Oh.
Right there.
Oh, and you can even apply resistance if you need
You can
to.
apply resistance, you can mark off armor slots, so...
How
Yeah,
fancy,
the-
Demiplane? How fancy.
The to hit to armor to hit points is the most complicated part of Daggerheart. So it's nice that they have that little calculator to help you out with that.
Yeah, so that just made the
Because it's confusing
super
at
easy.
first.
It's barely an inconvenience.
I think as you guys play these characters, you're going to start to know, like, oh, I took 15 damage, 2 armor slots, I'm good.
Right.
But as you're just learning the characters and the system, we'll kind of figure this out together.
So if I did 4 minus 9 is 5, which is below 8, which is just 1 hit point.
One hit point.
Below major
Correct. 1 hit point.
would be 1 hit point.
Yep.
I'll just take 2.
I just died!
I didn't take any. Oh wait, that would still be 1 hit point.
1 hit point, yeah.
Then I'll just do 1 and I'll take 1 hit point. Boop. Okay.
Boop, boop, doop.
Alright, that was its activation. Still the fear, I have 1 more activation. There's only 1 other. I cannot activate the same one twice. So the other one does try and attack the children.
Oh.
I don't like that.
Ooh, and it crits.
Oh.
You see as the girl's swiping the stick, trying to swat these vines away, the remaining vine gets up onto the palm of this stone hand and wraps itself around the boy's leg and his lower torso. As it starts to squeeze, you see the thorns digging in, blood starting to come out, and he screams again. He's been silent in fear up until this point, but he gives out this piercing scream as the young girl just, no! She starts to hit this vine.
Is that farther than far?
I think it's about far. I've used up all of my action tokens. The action is back onto you.
I'm gonna hit this one that's right next to me.
Okay. 2d12.
Let's jump it in there.
Add your modifier.
Fuck. It's a. Just trying to see if I can use my experience as a defender of the week to make it a 14.
Again, that's up to you guys. If you want to use an experience, you spend a hope, say how that experience is relevant, and you do it.
Okay, I'm gonna.
If you abuse it, I will start to lay down the law a little more, but in general, it's up to you whether an experience is relevant.
As the defender of the week, I see that boy and I'm like, I gotta get rid of this thing next to me so I can get to them. So I rolled a 14 with fear against this
The one next to you.
vine. Yes,
It does hit.
this is the only one I can get to. Great. So I, with my greatsword, can roll 2d10 and drop the lowest. Jingle, jingle, jingle. So the lowest is a 4, so it's a 9. Plus my... where'd it go? Oh, 4. So 13 damage.
13 is severe damage again, which this snake that was already hit with the holy axe hurl. Excuse me, this vine
It can be a hammer. It can be a hammer.
gets smashed to pieces at your feet, leaving the single vine left over, wrapping itself around the boy.
I don't even look at it as it dies. I literally just drop my sword on it and I'm laser focused on those kids and I just hope it was successful and I just book it as fast as I can, as far as I can, towards those children with Jax on my back.
Question though, did you say a damage for the kid?
No.
He didn't say it.
If I was doing damage, he would be dead. Narratively, I don't want him dead. So he is being damaged.
He is, how you are say it, traumatized.
Possibly for life.
But
This is a good example of Daggerheart being more focused on the narrative than on the mechanics. Yes, this creature has attacked him. It is damaging him. But narratively, it's not fun for him to just die.
Because that's where also with mechanically is I would use my prayer dice for that, but I guess I don't need to because there's
you can save it for your allies.
for the allies. Okay.
But I did get you pretty close there, and I succeeded with fear, so it's not your turn.
It is. If you
It
roll
is
a
your
fear,
turn
it
to
goes
fail.
to me.
Yeah.
And I get a fear and an action.
Or
Okay. It... it continues to, you can see the vine reaching out wrapping itself around the girl as well, as Yarla screams from outside of the briars as her children are put into danger. And you can see the little thorny bits on it scratching in and stabbing into them, tearing their clothes. And I forgot to do this, but because of their thorny bits on them, when you made a melee attack against them, you mark an armor slot.
That's so rude.
Because it shreds some of your armor. I think that was the only melee attack that happened, because yours was within close.
Yeah.
Okay, I have used my action token. It is back on you. With this last vine wrapping around the two children, you see the boy is already like he's starting to go pale and his eyes are drooping.
There's
If
like
I-
2 vines though on the map.
There's
I
only
see
one.
one.
So
If I were to get off of her, is that my whole movement?
Yeah.
But you're a lot closer now.
I need to be in close range.
You're just outside of close range.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I am
I thought we were just trying
move
to get too
a little bit closer, I could be within far, or you think I am still very far? Could I get into far range?
Without any kind of a roll. Yes, it is. It is wrapped around the children. So I would say your attack, should you be making a ranged attack, would be with disadvantage.
Okay.
Can I use an action to move and then attack? Because there's really no action sequence in this game.
You could use yes, but if you want to wait for someone else to.
If you have things
If you want to take
do-
two turns in a row, yes, you can do that.
What I am going to do is use Bolt Beacon, which is ranged attack, will do damage and also make them vulnerable. But also, maybe I roll with fear, and then he continues squeezing
And he
child.
knows
So
that
if you
he's-
want to do thing, you do thing.
It's the same. Either way, we could both roll with fear.
Also true. Maybe if you are
I
going,
just didn't know you were saying it has the child around it too. If I am not hitting it with magic, I'm hitting it with a weapon. I don't know.
I didn't say magic, I said a ranged attack.
Oh, well.
It's two little kids wrapped up in this
Yeah.
vine, and you're trying to hit the vine, so it's difficult to not
Yeah.
hit the kids as well.
I will move closer, and there is chance of hitting child, or there is chance of missing. You think?
you have disadvantage on the roll. I will tell you the vine's difficulty is a 14. If you miss by more than 5, so a 9 or lower, you will hit a child.
And if I get up close and I hit him in range,
Melee.
like
If
in
you're
melee,
in melee,
it's not as.
correct,
I can get up and hit him
because
in
you
melee.
can get to the base of it.
You go ahead, do that. Go.
I go up. Boop. 1.
Here's what we'll do, because you've been getting free movement with being on the shoulders. As you hop down and try and run through this tangle of briars that grows up around the column, make an agility roll to get all the way to where that vine is. And this is the general rule when you're trying to move further than normal. You make an agility roll to see if you can get extra movement.
And this is like, you use a hope to use an experience.
If you want to, if you have
I'm
an
going
experience.
to use my fearless
Hell yeah.
Okay.
experience.
So you use a hope. You're going to add 2 to your roll for your experience.
Yeah.
Plus your agility.
And I roll 2 die.
Roll 2 dice, add them up, tell me if it's hope or fear.
And add your agility also.
Yeah. 10, 19, plus 2,
You,
21 with fear.
in this moment, as you're up on this giant's shoulders, you can see the 2 children. Again, they're kind of like perched up on the palm of this giant stone hand. The older sister, you assume, has been bravely trying to keep her little brother, her toddler brother, safe from these vines as they're attacking. And you can see her efforts have, while valiant, have not been enough. And the both of them are being wrapped up. She's dropped the stick from her hand. You can see some blood starting to form, some wounds across her. How does Jax get from the shoulder of a giant to the palm of this stony hand?
She sees these poor helpless children from atop the giant, and she sees how close she can get to them, and she leaps from
Zira.
She leaps from Zira's shoulders, and since she is quite small, she's a small girl.
Small.
She runs like underneath the brambles and into this thicket, and runs up the side of the hand. She's so little and light-footed.
Yeah.
To take her hammer and let the love that she sees between the children and hears from the mother's terrified screams.
And she's starting to run in as well. To holy hallow hammer the fuck out of hand thing. You squirm through, for the first time, paying little regard to your tailored clothes as the thorns bite in and start to rip and tear at some of them. As you get closer, pulling yourself up onto the palm of this stony hand, you see the base of that vine edging past you as it reaches up towards the children. You smash. There's an echoing crack of the stone beneath the vine, but the vine itself seems to like spasm out, releasing both of the children onto the palm of this statue's hand. You do mark an armor slot for a melee attack against it, but the remaining vine is no more, as it is no longer animate.
Nice. Oh, good job, Jax.
Yarla comes running in to this clearing with all the rest of you. Griff, Bryn, please, are you okay?
There are more, or there are more? Get easy.
Yeah, we're good.
The one kid was getting really hurt, right?
Yeah, the younger boy, who you assume to be Griff at this point, he took the initial assault and he was in it for the longest.
I put my hands upon him and I called to Octavia to help close his wounds.
He scrapes
There's
and
little what look like tendrils
knit
stitching
the flesh back
Stitching.
together.
Just like random, just
little
tentacles.
tentacles like slipping through the skin and then they disappear and yes.
You just leave like
That's
little faint
cool.
sucker marks that like
Just
clear up.
and they sound like
Oh, God. I don't know if I want that magic.
Can I, while this is happening, go over to one of the destroyed vines over here and start inspecting it a little bit?
You can.
my Quillbrain went gnaw on it.
Yarla has come in towards the base of this hand poking up out of the ground here. And you can see as you've moved a little bit further in, you can see that little makeshift camp. Looks like they've been here for a day or two maybe. And she is kind of reaching up the bushy brambles around the base of this hand, kind of keeping her back from getting to the children themselves. She's trying to get to them to see if they're okay. You kind of help reunite all of them. She's holding them closely, kissing them on top of their heads before she finally kind of looks up with tears in her eyes. She says, thank you all so much. You saved them.
I mean, shouldn't you really be traveling with a triop? These woods seem pretty dangerous here. It really doesn't seem like a good idea. Is that what Jonna was? Was she your triop?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, like your protector, your family. You had the one with the, like this, and I show her my third eye.
You see Bryn, who's like fully recovered at this point with some divine healing him. Bryn, this little young boy, just goes, "Whoa, cool!"
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, do you have it? Maybe you just have to
He
grow
starts
into
feeling
it.
the back of his head.
Oh, no, you're just...
Bryn, do I have it? Yarla kind of looks and she says, there are some in the village that would give us some protection, but I have lived in these woods my whole life. It can be dangerous, but if you know the ways and you respect the life, it is not so hard to survive, to get by.
This
But this is just, she points as you're looking at one of these shattered remnants of one of the vines, and she just says, this is exactly what I mean. The briars, they've always worked with us to help keep us safe, to protect us. They've never attacked.
This is not normal for a place, for these woods that the vines are attacked.
The briars would attack to defend us,
What?
but they would never attack the children.
So these are sentient vines? Like, normally they're nice to you because... why?
Because we live together, we respect them.
Oh.
We nurture them and nourish them and help them grow. And
So is this like your angry partner? These vines are now angry too?
I guess so.
You are think that something is wrong that is bigger than your wife come home angry.
She brings the kids, just please come. And she kind of sits around the fire, putting the kids down as they're both.
I am give them little bit of food. Pull out maybe bits of like dried meat from bag and give here. Here, you are did something.
Yeah,
that
some
will
meat.
da.
Nosh down on it.
Da. Do not eat so fast. You know it is not good for digestion.
Yarla just says,
What? Show as much as I can. on
You
my
are a
face.
grown princess warrior. You do what you want.
Okay.
maybe it is the same. Jura was never violent before, but the briars were never violent. I kept hearing of more and more fights happening in the tavern, but I mostly stay at home watching after the children. But maybe there is something happening. So much anger, so much violence. I have to get the kids out of here. I have to.
Well, it was pretty safe where we came from, so... I mean, since we came from it, I don't know the difference between yesterday and today.
We're like how far from where the dragon patrols are?
You would be, by your travel, 3 or 4 days outside of the
I thought we
border.
were a day.
Okay. We're bit from our destination. But
Oh.
it is maybe 3-4 days back to where we last saw dragon patrols at Age of Kingdom. You are thinking that you will go there?
To Tarkhan, yes.
Yeah.
My brother said when the kingdom started to expand that it would be safer there. We would be protected, but the Briarwood has always been my home. But now it doesn't seem to be safe here any longer. I must get the children somewhere safe.
Are we ready to handle something like this? Because like it sounds like we're going to a crazy town now.
Yeah, but we have mission. This is we have assignment that is we are have to go. I mean, you can leave if you are feeling
No,
scared. You are feeling scared.
It's more of preparedness. Was not
Yeah.
expecting this.
It is look like everybody's handled themselves. That was good. I am actually pleased.
Alright.
Duh. Everyone is feeling capable today.
I mean, I always feel capable. It's kind of what I did my whole life. I mean, don't you guys just grow up sparring and preparing for things like this? I mean, it's just a little thing. You know?
Not everyone is a warrior princess. Just so you know.
I strip off my shirt. And
Oh, do you-
And I grab
Do you want help fixing that, or is
No.
that like okay?
I grab a needle and thread from my thing and I start sewing it
Let's
back up.
stitch it back together.
I think that we are in good position. Maybe there is something we can do for this town while we are find Verlo Adesi, the fun girl.
Ah.
And maybe if he is, this fun girl has come to town, maybe this is part of why there are all these fights.
Side
I don't know.
quest.
What do I know anything about this person?
About Verlo?
Yeah.
You've heard his name, particularly from Clegus,
Mhm.
but others in the convocation has spoken of him. He is known as kind of an eccentric scholar.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to be more absorbed and wrapped up in his books than in the world around him.
You would like.
He has definitely been known to kind of like whatever he's researching, when it catches his fancy, he will just like wander off to go investigate.
Oh, so this is not out of ordinary.
Not for him, no.
Yeah. Well, maybe there is nothing to do and maybe it is connected, but either way we are going to town and maybe there is something we can do for people. I don't know. But we have mission. We have assignment. We
As
have
long
This
as,
does feel
I
like a
am
bit
going.
of
Can't we just... Carlos really got to get out of here, you know?
do you want to help escort
I-
them?
If you are going to Glade Hollow, if you could look for Jura, let her know where we've gone.
The angry lady.
We can keep eyes open. We are not promised to find.
Yeah, what does she even look like? Hair, color?
She's an Inferis.
I would know what that is, but I don't as a
It's like
player.
a 5e tiefling.
Oh, I see.
She's, blue skin, curling horns around her ears. Eyes are all yellow.
Okay.
She's the only Inferis in the village.
Oh, perfect. We'll easily be able to find her.
Just tell her I still love her. Tell her where we've gone.
We will maybe make sure that she is not still, all crazy first. We will tell her that you love her.
We
But-
should make sure she's not crazy before we tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go to Tarkon and you make it to Sanctuary, you can ask at Academy for Clegus Thorenfeld. He is my teacher. You tell him that Yevin Darosla found you and said to find him. He is good. He is good dwarf.
You see her like kind of repeating all these unfamiliar words like
Да.
sanctuary, academy,
Да.
Plagueis.
In the Dragon Patrols, you can tell them that you met Mage of Academy of Convocation, Mage of Convocation on mission, and he said go to Sanctuary.
I'm writing this down
Okay.
because I see her struggling, and then I.
Thank
You
you.
can
Here.
read, right?
Yes.
I will sign.
Sign your little.
I don't know what I'm
seal-
laughing at. I can't read.
Seal
The-
of the convocation.
I
She
am
says,
exactly. I am press seal of convocation, and it just do a little cool magic thing and go psss on the page.
spreads out onto your
Да.
your
Yes,
seal
yes,
and
they-
signature to make it an official document, as it were.
Show that to patrols. They will let you in.
She says, thank you all so much. She kind of gathers her children around her again. And she just says, I'm going to get them out of here as soon as I can, as quickly as I can. But if you're going to Glade Hollow, it's not much farther down the path. Only a few hours.
Okay.
You're welcome to use our camp if you need it.
I
But
think probably animated vines are not going to attack twice in the same place. Maybe not. I don't know.
Here's a coin flip.
just,
You got coin.
if you're staying, the least I could do is make a meal for you.
You should.
We just ate.
We have food. You should keep
you
food
should-
for children.
You should keep moving along. This seems kind of.
Okay. Well,
But
remember, Jura, she's a nice person. I don't know what's come over her.
all right, you are take care. Protect the children.
Yes, thank you all as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
find a
we-
tri-op or something.
I will look. And she pulls out the scrap of paper and writes "try up" on it as well.
And I say to the kids, you are to look after the mother. You are to be strong. You are to be brave.
Bren, the older
Oh, and I
daughter,
pick up the stick that she was carrying and I
she
give it back to
takes
her.
the stick and like kind of holds
Mhm.
it out. I will. And Griff is still looking to see if he has another eye on the back of his head. Mama, can I be a triops? Yarla kind of takes both of their hands. She says, yes, you can be whatever you like, Griff, whenever you grow up. But remember, now we must be quiet and you must follow Mama closely. As she thanks all of you once again before she heads out into the Briarwood.
Yeah, I do this mostly for flavor, but is there a way to fix your armor?
Yes, we're about to get to that.
I was wondering because Suni has like prestidigitation, which can like help mend items.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be something where like maybe not like armor, because I feel like then that's like mechanics breaking, but like with the clothing and stuff, since that is a bigger object, and I think it says like small objects, but like would you be able to mend like the little tears and stuff? Okay.
So, if you are taking a little moment here in the camp after defeating these briar vines, you have on your gameplay stuff, the paper in front of you, it says what you can do during a short rest.
We can swap any number of domain cards in our loadout for domain cards in our vault.
Not super relevant at the moment.
We can choose two options below. We may repeat the same action twice if we like. The GM gains a fear and may take a long-term countdown.
What?
Don't think about it too hard, you know? We can tend to wounds. Clear 1d4 hit points. You may choose to do this on an ally instead. Clear stress. Clear 1d4. Describe how you blow off steam. Pull yourself together. Clear 1d4 stress. Repair armor. Describe how you quickly spend time repairing your armor and clear 1d4 used armor slots. Describe how you were preparing for the next day's adventure, then gain hope. If you choose to prepare with one or more members of your party, you may each take 2 hope. Oh, that's cool.
And then I guess like you can max out your hope then, basically.
Yes, you have a maximum hope.
So then I will be using time to stitch my armor back together.
Okay.
And I am first of all remove shoulder armor and stitch and bandage long cut on arm, and then as well armor is off. I take time to repair broken strap where thorn from acid. This was like.
It's like an acidic sap.
And clear off using prestidigitation and clean it off, repair, turn back together, put back. So I am tending wounds, repairing armor. There's a button for a rest or no? There's no button.
No,
Okay.
because you can do different things on your rest.
Exactly.
You want to do any of these?
Suni goes over to a stump, she sits on it, and she's works on her book.
Okay.
She did not get hit, so she's good.
This is prepare. Maybe you are gain hope.
It's work on a project.
Oh, that is no. That is long rest.
Yeah, that's a long rest activity.
Okay, well then yeah, prepare.
So you describe how you're preparing yourself for the path ahead and gain a hope. If you prepare with another member of the party, you can both gain 2 hope. And just so everyone is aware, during these rest things, you can not only tend to your own wounds, you can tend to other people's wounds. You can not only clear your own stress, you can clear someone else's. You can repair your armor, you can repair someone else's. So sometimes when someone's taking the biggest beating, maybe you work together to help them get back to full shape.
So here, I massage temple.
Does anyone have stress that needs to be cleared?
I have hit points, but
I'm gonna try to fix my armor.
Okay, how do you fix your armor?
So I look for a large rock to sit on, because that's just where I do my best thinking is near large stones. And I usually have someone who helps me with these kinds of things, so I don't really know how it's gonna go here, but like I'm trying to replicate what I saw some of the diops doing back in the Obsidian Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take out the short sword because that's like the smallest knife that I have, and just kind of work it in between the different pieces in the plate mail, trying to fix them back together again. And I don't know how it goes, but I think I just roll a d4 or do I have to see if I successfully
No,
did
you
it?
just do it.
and then that's how much you heal or whatever.
I successfully fixed my armor.
There you go.
It's all
Good
good.
for you, princess.
Wow, is that kind of what you do with like your sewing thing? Like you just shove knives in there and
No.
oh,
No.
oh, well, worked for me.
So you, Jax has wounds that still need to be healed.
Yeah.
I can notice that and come over.
I can notice, I guess.
It's okay. If
Close
you're
my
doing
book,
your
made
thing.
my notes. Like, hey,
She's like looking over your shoulder to see what you're reading, and there's just blood dripping into your book.
all right, we help.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sit down,
I'm sorry.
sit down, sit down. And I get out the little med kit thing, and I'm just like helping bandage you up a little bit, and maybe there's like a little bit of magic in there because I have some kind of support magic, so a little bit of both. And then do I have to roll something?
You just roll a d4. That's how much you heal.
1.
That's one less than she had.
Yep.
So you take 45 minutes to an hour to kind of catch your breath again after this exciting endeavor, saving the children, binding your wounds, patching up your armor to make it functional once again, getting ready for the journey ahead. After you finish up with all these activities, you hitch the packs back up onto your backs again and head out onto the trail. Sure enough, within the next just under 2 hours of hiking down this forest trail, you see between the trees in front of you what looks to be a large, dark shape in and among the trees ahead. As you start to get closer, you can see what appears to be a dense wall of these twisting, thorny vines that have interwoven themselves and grown into these kind of concave curves of walls that seem to circle around a large something. And you can see the trail that you're on seems to be leading up to what looks like a pair of gates set in the walls of these thorny vines. And standing outside of these gates are what appear to be guards. You all have found the village of Glade Hollow. And that's where we'll take a break.
Ooh.
Those of you in the audience, we will take a short break. We'll be back in 15 minutes to continue this adventure. We'll see you then. And we're back. I think we're back. I hope we're back.
Color.
Hopefully we're back. Those of you who joined us late, we are playing Daggerheart, the beta playtest. I do apologize that I've read multiple versions, as there's been like 6 or 7 versions of the playtest, so sometimes the versions get mixed around in my head and we're all learning this system as we go. Sorry, dogs are jealous over bones. But we have joined our adventurers on a mission to find one mage of the convocation, Verlo Adesi, in the village of Glade Hollow, deep in the Briarwood Forest. You have come upon what appears to be the village itself. These briar-like vines in a thick tangle growing up as walls around the village itself, curving outward to make a difficult climb through their thorny vegetation. And standing at what appears to be a gate into this walled off settlement, you can see what look to be 2 guards, although they're look a bit more rough and tumble than a typical villager resident. Some scars and tattoos on them. One of them stands probably well over 8 feet tall with a single eye in the center of his forehead. And as you look at these guards at the gate, and they seem to be kind of seeing these strangers approach, Zira, what about this Cyclopean giant brings such strong memories of your sister back, other than he's a Cyclops giant?
Of my sister?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a real toss there.
Something in the way he stands, or the way he looks at you, his attitude, his smell, his hair.
I would say, the way that he just seems very secure in his role, and he obviously understands what he's there to do and is comfortable with it. My sister has always, just whether she was sure of herself or not, she always seemed that way. And it always just made me, who was a little apprehensive of taking on my role as a triop, I don't know, I think that made me feel inferior. And so standing here with a Cyclops who seems very sure in their role is making me a little uncomfortable.
And this giant man does confidently step up between the gate and you, looking down at most of you. He's a little bit taller than you as well. As he looks around at all of you, he just says, "No strangers allowed."
We are on mission, assigned by convocation. We are looking for a lost mage. Please, let us enter. We mean no harm.
Definitely no strangers from the kingdom allowed. Ain't no king in these parts.
There was like a fungal person that came on through, yes?
Ain't seen nothing. He holds his hand out.
I roll my eyes. You are doing
I
something.
give him one of my crochet squares
It was
that has an octopus crocheted into it.
Make a presence roll.
I call that pretty fearless of me.
Do you want to spend a hope? Add your experience plus your presence.
To this giant?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, fearless of me to just hand
And you're
up
like jumping up to put it in his hand.
this tiny, into his, probably a finger's size, crochet knitting square, granny square of an octopus. $16
Hope or fear?
with hope.
With hope, take a hope. He, as you place it into his hand, his massive, meaty hand, he doesn't even seem to pay attention to what you put there, just confident you've bribed him. As he closes it into a fist and shoves it into his pouch, he just says, "Welcome to Glade Hollow."
I just hold my
Let's
necklace
go.
a little
Let's-
bit and I
let's-
just say thank you.
Duh.
Thank you.
The vines covering the gateway in front of you all kind of writhe and twist, opening their way outward, revealing this opening into the village itself. As you pass through the gate, you can see a small, very modest village, mostly log cabin style buildings, thatch roofs, a few that are made of stone and tile from the local area. But you can see that the village itself looks to have been in some sort of distress recently. Many of the wooden structures are obvious signs of fire, broken furniture and carts and crates strewn about through the street. There are a dozen or so of these rough and tumble looking individuals roaming about the city streets as you walk through here. A few of them kind of giving you an eye as these strangers come into the town. They definitely don't match any of the vibe or description of the villagers of Glade Hollow that you have been given up to this point. You can see just inside of the gates along the street one of these stone buildings with a thatch roof above looks to have a sign hanging out over the doorway in front of it. All the rest seem to be kind of like private homes and such, but this one does have a sign out front of it.
What does the sign say?
As you walk a little bit closer to get a look at the sign, you can see with these kind of thorny vines bordering around the sign itself, it says the Bramble Wall. And as you walk up closer, the window at the front of this tavern breaks out as two individuals seemingly locked in a fight come crashing and tumbling out into the street in front of you. As they settle out, the one laying back on his back, the other kind of lands sprawled on top of him and just start punching into him until the other guy goes unconscious. He stands up, spits on him, walks back into the tavern. You hear a "Rah!" yell from inside of these other people.
I think we should keep head on swivel. This is not a happy place.
Yevin, as you enter this village, seeing the signs of recent destruction, what seems like outsiders in this settlement, it brings back strong memories of the free cities and them being sacked and overrun. How is Yevin feeling in this moment, seeing these similar occurrences happening in this small, isolated village?
Last time I saw free cities, I was a small child. I was afraid. I was helpless. I could only try to follow my mother. And now I am grown. I have training. I have role. I have purpose. I have structure. In structure, I have safety. I can take heart. I can take comfort. But so I am reached to training and to discipline and to order, and I am gather myself. And URC, it takes, you don't know why obviously, but it takes a little bit of effort. But Yevin stand a little bit taller, even though he wins a little bit as he has put weight on leg with breasts, and he has look around town as there is chaos, and he has tried to gather internal strength.
So this setting, bringing back these memories from childhood, kind of reminds you of how far you've come, of who you were then and who you are now. And you stand with this confidence as you head into the Bramble Wall.
Maybe we should check out that person that got the shit kicked out of them. See what they might know. Easy to talk to, maybe.
You want to wake him up?
Yeah. I'll walk over.
You walk over, you can see his face is a bruised and bloody mess, a few teeth missing. One of his eyes swollen, but both eyes closed. as he seems to be just completely knocked the fuck out.
I stand between you guys and the opening to the tavern bar.
It looks to me like
protect you
it's
guys.
one of the largest structures here in this small village, with a stone foundation of kind of river stream stones brought in, and then a wooden second story above with a thatched roof kind of hanging out over. And the door is open within. You can hear some music, rough laughter, some raucous, drunken shouting and boasting happening inside.
I cast telepathy on him as I wake him up, and when he comes to, I say, "Hello!" And then I also say in his head, "She seems trustworthy, doesn't she?"
How does telepathy work?
That is not rule.
You may open a line of mental communication with one target you can see. This connection lasts until you use the spell to connect with another creature.
You say it in his head with your accent.
Is there a spellcast roll or anything, or just?
Oh, it just works.
It seems without, as you cast this spell on him, it seems without any outside influence, he's not waking up for a while.
Well, I shake him.
You shake him a few times as his head kind of hits the hard-packed dirt that makes up the
be
road
careful,
here.
he is maybe have concussion.
His eyes start to flutter open. He barfs out. He's kind of looking around like, "What? Who the fuck are you?"
Hello, I am Suni. And then in his head I say, "She looks trustworthy, doesn't she?"
Is this a two-way communication, or you just speak into their head?
It's a line of mental communication, so I guess it's two-way. Whether or not he realizes that, I don't know. The text is kind
Communication
of
sounds like it's two-way.
Yeah. Because I'm not sending a message. So what to say that?
Make an instinct roll.
I don't know what that is.
So you roll 2d12, add your instinct.
Okay.
And any experiences, if you want to use a hope and you think an experience is relevant
Do
in
I-
this situation.
Do I succeed with, like, do I say what is what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I add instinct.
Yes.
So then that's a 17 total. And I succeeded with fear.
17 with fear.
Yes.
Okay. As he's kind of trying to get his bearing, he looks to be a little bit cross-eyed still, looking around at all of these faces that are like towering over him as he lays on the ground. And you, in his mind, are telling him how trustworthy you are. You, less than words, more just raw emotion that you feel radiating off of him of rage. This violent, burning rage inside of him as he just says, "Get the fuck off me!" He tries to kind of bat you away. Do you resist?
I back away a little bit.
You back up a little bit.
I get out my little dagger and I put it to his throat.
Okay.
Oh, that's a bit chaotic there.
You see in his eyes this rage consuming him, but he does seem to be a little bit concussed at the moment, and maybe some broken bones, possibly having a little trouble breathing. He doesn't put up enough of an effort that you can't kind of hold him in place with the dagger as he kind of leans
Where is
back
the
low.
fungal man? The mushroom man? Mushroom man!
Don't know no mushroom man.
Fungal!
Don't know no fungrel.
You must have seen him.
No, ain't seen nothing.
Okay, and then I get off of him.
take it away. He kind of feels his neck a little bit, dusts himself up as he stands up. Fucking outsiders. He limps away up the street.
He knows nothing.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad we checked that off.
This is more of a recluse. You know, if some rando hasn't seen him walking around on the street.
I have like a description of this person.
Yes, you do. He is a fungal.
Mhm.
He is rather tall and slender. The stem of the mushroom kind of making up most of his body, and he has a wide, flat cap that extends out a couple feet to both sides of him, with these like tendrils, almost like tassels, coming down all around it. And I would say you've probably seen him as well, and speaking with Clegus and walking through the academy grounds, as he wasn't a resident in the academy when he's not out and about.
Oh, this guy is the Mushroom Man.
That
we're looking
the
for.
mushroom man. The mushroom man.
The mushroom
mushroom
You
man.
know the mushroom man, the mushroom man, the mushroom man.
The mushroom man is
The wizard.
person is the wizard we are trying to find.
Okay, I thought these were two different people for some reason.
Very
No. That's
Is there like there is a pattern to destruction in this town, or I just look around and like what does it look like fires come from? Does it look magical? Does it look like lightning? Does it look like somebody is holding torch to building?
Hard to tell specifically whether it's magical or mundane fire that happens. It looks like most of it looks very recent. The destruction, the fire, and you would guess, just looking around at the village itself after talking to Yarla, that this was probably a very quiet, peaceful little village. And recently there has just been a surge of violent acts. Arson, fighting, murder.
Something is wrong here.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking maybe someone new came to town and changed everything. You know, in like my village, we don't let people come in from outside because things like this could really happen, you know. We have order and, you know, an understanding of how to treat each other there and like lots of respect, but I bet someone new came in and they just made it all worse.
With all outsiders bring trouble.
Well, I've never had an outsider and I've never had trouble there.
I have been outsider. I did not bring trouble.
Well, maybe you were an insider or you were where you were supposed to be when you got there. I don't really know how outside and inside really works, to be honest. I just know that my people, we just stay there.
Well, in this case, maybe you are right. If there is connection between the person we are looking for and what is going on in this town, the best thing we can do for them is to find him.
Did they say when they told you about this guy if he was like here a long time?
No, he's been missing for not so long.
It's not that he's been missing. He went out on one of his random expeditions.
He just go out on random expedition.
do we know what for?
And for whatever reason, Clegus wants to check in on him.
And
If you can, he wants you to bring him back, but he knows it can be hard to divert him once he's on the trail.
Assignment is to check in and hopefully bring him back to Sanctuary, but if we cannot do that, at least to make sure he is okay and hopefully, not starting riot or something.
Do we know anything about this expedition? Like, was he looking for particular plants or rocks?
He is do this, he is arcanist, he is get the idea in his head, he is go charging off and looking, get obsessions, thing he do. So this is not out of ordinary, but Clegus is think that he is maybe in trouble, or maybe he is just want to make sure he is okay. I don't know.
Alright, so we find another person on the ground and we interrogate them and we find the
I think
mushroom
maybe
man.
we are trying to talk to people who are conscious.
But then
first.
they are more violent. If they're weakened, we can... Okay, fine, whatever.
I'm getting anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out of my bag. I'm going to grab my needlepoint
Okay.
and start mindlessly needle pointing
You start to mindlessly needlepoint
As I watch
as they
them
have this conversation
talk about
outside of the bramble wall.
Do you look like you need a rocking chair or something? Do you?
for what?
I don't know. You know, you don't. Okay.
That is mesmerizing.
I don't
Also-
really know how to do this, but I think that this is
You are see, this is remind me a little bit, but you are see a small creature poke its head out of leather armor. He's, you have seen this before, this is not new, but as we have traveled, you have caught glimpses of small mammal live in folds of mantle, reddish brown fur, sharp nose, and he is kind of poke his head out, sniff air. Go back inside.
Oh yeah, I have a raven that
I am
follows me.
scratching a little bit.
That's right, my raven.
Well,
And give him
it
little
just
scratches.
exists.
Did you
You
ever
are-
tell us his name?
His name is Otak.
Ortak?
Otak.
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 is a
Okay,
good
Otak.
Da.
You are broken from your reverie of inspecting your pets and companions.
You mean we are
As-
broken from our reverie of remembering things?
All right, that's on my character sheet.
I do
as,
this thing. I have this thing.
As you hear what sounds like breaking furniture, some shouting, and the crack of fist on flesh, as it seems another fight has broken out inside of the tavern.
Ooh,
Oh, jeez. These
the
people
broken
are a
glass?
mess here.
Like they broke the window.
Mhm.
I walk on over there to peek inside.
Peek inside, and you can see a woman and a man locked in a fight. The woman has a knife that the man is trying to keep away, but she is pummeling and waylaying him. He's doing everything he can to keep her off of him, and the rest of the crowd, the rest of the patrons of this tavern are like standing and cheering. And, yeah, kick his ass, stab him in the gut.
What's wrong with these
Do you
people?
think? If
As this brings you out of your mindless needlepoint, you look down and you see you have sewn, needle pointed,
yeah.
the
Embroidered.
image of a dagger stabbing someone in the back.
Oh, jeez.
Do you think if we stay here long enough, we're gonna go insane like these people?
I do not think so, but you never know. We should trust to our mission.
I can't let this
She's
keep
gonna
going
stab
on though.
him.
I go inside.
She's gonna stab him.
What?
I try to step between this woman going
As
crazy
you step
and
in
the guy.
and you start heading towards the fight, like pushing your way through the crowd that is like cheering them all on, you see coming from near the bar as well on the other side of the room, you're kind of converging, is this huge metal man of this kind of bulky frame. His arms look to bend in a few extra places, and he's striding over to the fight at the same time as you. You both kind of converge on it at the same time, grabbing a different combatant and pulling them away from each other. And this Clank, this robotic humanoid, kind of picks the guy up, puts him, his whole upper torso spins while the lower torso stays in place. Just sets him behind him and turns back around. Gives this stern look to everyone else in residence. They all kind of like settle down a little bit and go back to their tables. And you can see this Clank bodyguard, his metal frame is covered in dents and cuts and some fluids leaking out of a few of the joints and places. It looks like he has taken a beating in recent times.
Does the woman have blue skin?
The woman did not have blue skin.
I escort this woman outside to my friends in a very pushy way.
You shove her out. She's swinging the dagger around, but doesn't seem to have much heart in it. And as you push her out into the street itself, she turns and looks over like, ah!
No, ma'am, it's time to take a break, lady.
Make a presence roll.
Can I help with that and like do the telepathy thing again?
If you would like to spend a hope, you can help on a roll.
I will.
But no.
Spend a hope. You use your telepathy to try and influence in the same vein that Zira is. Hold off on telling me what your role is.
Okay, I just thought about it.
As you offer help, you roll a d6.
Well, 1.
Add 1 to your result. Plus your presence.
This might not be the best basic.
21 with fear.
21 with fear.
Oh boy.
Racking those fear up. I also
I
have a
have
cap on
something
how much
for-
fear I can have.
I think something bad is gonna happen.
It will increase.
Actually, I am not going to take this fear. You,
Why is that almost worse?
as you,
I'm afraid.
as you shove this woman out, she turns snarling at you. This look of violence in her eyes, slashing this knife. Zira, the look in her eyes brings you back to sparring. Oh god, I just forgot her name.
Brindra?
With Brindra. That look that she had in her eyes in that moment. You take a stress
Okay.
in this moment. However, this woman with the dagger, kind of seeing 4 against 1 at this point, settles some, looks around at all of you and says, "Pah! Drink's no good here anyway," and she starts to walk away.
Excuse me. I don't know. Just
Little voice inside her mind says, you should totally stop and just like talk to these people.
She says, she looks back over her shoulder, just says, "You want talk? Talk to Barnabas. He's a Yabberjaw."
What does he look like?
He's the one behind the bar.
Thank you. Well,
Alright.
I undo my needle point as I.
Start ripping out all of the thread.
I think we go inside. I'm not excited about the prospect, but push open door.
The door's already open. You walk in. And you can see the patrons of the tavern seem to have quieted and calmed down some, but there is just this air of anticipation. Everything is on a knife's edge. Each of them is looking to the other, like looking for a reason to start a fight in this moment. As you all walk in behind, you can see this large, imposing clank figure near the bar, kind of watching over all the patrons as best as it can. Behind the bar is a dwarven man with a thick black beard. His head has gone bald. And he's got this kind of pewter mug that he, of course, is wiping and cleaning out as he stands behind the bar. He's kind of like watching all the patrons as best as he can as well. Like his eyes are just darting from one table to the next. He almost seems unaware as you all approach the bar. Sorry. Sorry. He sets his stuff down. Welcome to the Bramble Wall.
how you doing?
Okay.
What you were going to say?
That's fine. It's okay.
Hello. We would like drinks for 4 and to just, chat for a moment if you have time.
You got coin, I got time.
I have unspecified amount of coin given to me for budget of this mission, of which I will give you some portion.
You hand him a handful of gold.
That seems excessive. I don't know.
In general, because gold is, unless you really want to be worried about tracking gold
Not
and
even a
stuff.
little bit.
In general, in Daggerheart, gold is handfuls.
Mhm.
10 handfuls is a bag. 10 bags is a chest.
Duh.
So you can keep track of whatever gold you have there. You hand him a handful of coin
Duh.
for the drinks and to talk. He pulls out more of these pewter mugs. Doesn't ask what you want. Just pours some of the ale from the barrel behind the cask behind the bar, and he sets them all on the table.
Except
Just,
try not to make face.
So
I take mine and I.
slide it down the
Over
bar.
to, yeah.
Great.
This is more outsiders. Great.
You have seen outsiders recently.
He looks around the tavern. 2 weeks ago, none of these fools would be in here.
Why,
Will be in here?
Would not.
Oh.
where they are come from?
He leans in a little bit and just says, "Here's the jagged knife, boys.
What are jagged knife boys?
Oh, you are from outside here.
Duh. That is not
Yeah.
obvious.
Can't tell from the accents.
They're bandits. Usually roaming around the Briarwood, causing trouble, robbing people. Lately, though, they've been united.
The guards at the gate, they are also a jagged knife.
Yeah.
What is bringing them to sleepy town of Glade Hollow? We thought this was quiet place.
The old gods only know. Things started getting strange. More and more fights here at the tavern. Used to never have fights. Suddenly there were fights near every night, and then more than one fight a night. People in the village just started getting enraged, tipping over the slightest thing. Kind of looks around again, make sure nobody else is listening around.
That is tense.
Well, most of the villagers, ones I used to call my friends, my neighbors, they all, they said things were better now. A lot of them ran off to join the Jagged Knives. Those bandits, they came to town. What I thought were my friends let them right in the gates. Now they run this place. Picks up the pewter mug, starts to wipe it out again.
Well, we are looking for one particular outsider. I think you would notice he is a tall guy, fungal. He is have stock, very slender, but big cap with things hanging down. He has come from Kingdom. Perhaps you have seen.
He looks and sees the symbol of the convocation on your breast.
I am, as I see him look, I am sort of.
He just says, "Burlo?"
Da, Verlo Adesi. You know.
Yeah, he's been locked up in his room.
What
In
room?
his room here.
Yeah.
We are sent to look for him. He is. When he is come.
A month ago.
And he's okay. He is
Used
not
to come out, come down, talk to us, but when things started getting violent, he locked himself up inside. Says he's doing research.
Well,
Does he seem violent when you check in on him? Angry?
No,
Oh, perfect. This should be easy.
it's usually in his books.
And then
He looks at you, he says, "Top of the stairs, second door on the left."
does.
Oh,
We are thank you for information. We will go talk to him.
Yeah, sure. Don't cause no fights.
We are not looking for any trouble. Yeah, we are not looking for any trouble.
we are not looking for that.
I gave him an octopus granny square.
Slide one across the table, he picks it up and looks at it. Thank you. Sets it.
Go upstairs.
You head up the creaking staircase. The hallway above Zira makes you feel kind of claustrophobic. Is this something like you're having to stoop down and your shoulders are almost touching both sides of it? You can see doors along either side, and you head down to the door on the left that was indicated to you. It is closed currently.
Gonna knock?
There's no response.
Take the staff.
you hear a small crash and a shock of surprise as a voice just kind of mumbles out through the door. Whoa! Oh, what? Oh, who is it?
Verlo Adesi, we are here on behalf of Clegis Thornfield. He has sent us to check on you. May we come in?
Come in. Quit talking through the door. What's wrong with you? You open the door up. You can see this small inn room. A small, simple bed, a chair and a desk off to one side, and a wardrobe on the other, little wash basin on the table nearby. Seated at the desk with, you see, books and papers spread out all over, a quill in his hand as he is scribbling down in a notepad. This tall, by many standards, fungrel man with this wide, flat cap and these tendrils hanging down like tassels all around him as he's scribbling furiously in his notes. And he says, close the door! Violence out there, violence, all kinds of violence.
At the academy, they teach us that it is unwise to enter upon a wizard without his invitation.
He gave it to us.
You are well.
He finally stops his scratching, note taking, looks up, and the kind of tendrils part a little bit, and you see these almost oversized eyes in his face that kind of blink, blink at you, reminiscent of like an owl as he blinks up towards you, like just realizing that the world exists around him almost in this moment. Suni, there is a book on the table that catches your interest. What is it? Of the many books and scrolls and parchments, one of them immediately pops out and grabs your attention.
It is a compendium on the local fauna, like something to do with like the animals. Yeah.
Cool. So this mage of the convocation, this fungrel, kind of looks up at you with these huge eyes, blinking a few times, and just says, Clegis, you say Clegis sent you?
He is a teacher and mentor
I know who Clegis is.
of mine, and he is sent us to check on you. You are well.
I'm well. Research.
What
Fascinating.
you are?
His head goes back down, picks the quill up,
Definitely a die-out.
starts to scribble and scratch.
Since you're busy, we can read your books, right? And then just walk forward.
You walk over towards it. He doesn't seem...
Yeah. All right. While you continue, I'm like looking through books.
What are you researching?
Oh, strange happenings here. Strange happenings. He scratches and scribbles. Again, pulls out another parchment, sets it down, compares a few things. He almost seems oblivious to. He almost seems to be just kind of talking to himself, and your questions are part of his thoughts in this moment as he's writing out notes and doing some diagrams. Strange things happening in the Briarwood. Strange things.
You have come to a dangerous place. What is going on here?
He stops his notes, looks up and looks around the room again, those big eyes. Blink, blink. He looks at all of you and says, oh, yes. What did you want?
We are here from a convocation. Clegis
Right. Well, it seems something... I was connecting to the mycelial network. You know of this, right?
I
Yeah.
have heard.
I felt something off. Something curious. I love being curious, so I came to look.
And what you have found?
He goes back down, head into his notes again. You see he kind of flips through a few pages, pulls over one, grabs a book, flips through it, yanks out another random note there, and he puts a few of them out. Looks over to Augie and says, "Right, what have I found?
What have you found?
Things are... how to say this? You can't connect to the network. There's something off. There's something influencing. Something outside. It's like this other rhythm.
Outside how far?
Not distance outside, just outside of the network. Pushing and pulsing its way in. Influencing, tending, steering, driving, directing. He starts to scribble down again.
Where's it going?
It's going everywhere. It's spreading as fast and as far as it can. Spreading its violence and rage. Violence and rage.
A disease of anger.
You are think that this is why this town is all of a sudden consumed by violence.
He, as you say this, he says, Glade Hollow, violence, recent events. Yes, I wrote that already. And he scratches it out and circles it again on this other page and finally stops and blinks again at all of you. He says, that is a theory. That's definitely a theory. Something is certainly happening here in the Sablewood. Something influencing the people, the animals, the plants. Everything is being influenced. It's something outside. Something once in. Something. Rage.
Come you are not angry and Dwarfman downstairs is not angry, but other people are. Do you know what makes someone more susceptible?
He grabs a book and pulls it down and
something?
flips through. He just says, Occam's theory of connectivity and will states that some of us, no offense intended, could be of stronger will than others, more resistant to the influence of outside forces, while some are more susceptible. My theory is that those that were most susceptible came victim to this influence first. Little by little it spread, spreading like hyphae through the soil, grabbing onto others, pulling them into this rage. I think, from what I can tell, the Jagged Knife, they're usually individual groups, teams that work in the Sablewood, but lately they've united. They've joined together under one singular force. They've taken over this village. They don't take over villages. What use do they have for a village? Why would they want something like this? So many mysteries, and he starts to, why do they want this village?
So
what is
He
going on
kind
in
of
Glade
talks
Hollow?
way too fast for me. I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest. Can you slow down?
Yes, but it's so much that's happening, all so fast. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to connect all of the lines, but they need to be connected. People need to know what's happening.
The Sablewood, this is also the same as the Briarwood.
Sorry, yes, the Briarwood.
That, I think so. It has I have seen maps that also say Sablewood.
It is strange things happening, strange things.
isn't there demon stuff that happens out in the wilderness sometimes?
Demons.
Yeah, I thought I heard something like that.
This is, I think, there are rumors. Perhaps this is not known. There are outside forces that are not native to this place.
Demons could be from somewhere else. That would explain the recent occurrence. Why they've shown up so recently, why they've come in numbers when no one had ever seen them before. Perhaps they have come from somewhere else.
Professor Odessi, we are here to check on you, but Professor Thornfeld, he is also asked that we are ensure your safety. This place is dangerous. You would be best to come back to Sanctuary with us.
I'm quite safe here doing my studies, and I can take care of myself if it comes down to a pinch.
You are sure it would be better if you came back with us.
What research is not worth the risk?
Tuh.
The greater the risk, the greater the reward. How will I achieve renown? How will I make a breakthrough without taking risk?
I cannot go back to Clegis, to my mentor, and tell him that we found you in a dangerous village that is overcome by violence and anger, where bandits have taken over village, and we left his friend.
He,
Also
the
infected.
longer you kind of go on, the more he starts to drift back down into his notes, and he starts to scribble more. And you hear him kind of mumbling about demons. Demons from the outside. Could it be related?
I mean,
Is
he's
this a
not
similar
wrong.
appearance?
Yeah, but he's gonna go
He's
crazy
not wrong
now.
about what?
He finally kind of stops and he blinks at all of you again and just says, "The network. I've been sensing it, feeling this outside, this rage. I think it feels like Clifftop. Clifftop is at the heart of this.
Where
I've
is
heard the
Clifftop?
Jagged Knife speak of the Clifftop. This must be where it's all coming from." And he starts to scribble again. He pulls out another, see like a little bit of a map of the Briarwood, and he kind of points along a river path, and you can see what looks to be some cliffs on the map itself. And he says, "Yes, Clifftop must be at the heart of it."
Okay.
You are
He stops and blinks again. He says, so you won't leave without me, but you won't impede my research.
If it
No.
will get you back to Sanctuary, we might even help.
I can't go back yet. I need to find the answers. This is a
Research
mystery.
isn't
It must be solved. This is academics.
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong what?
What you just said.
But the mystery must be solved? Not all mysteries can be solved.
It's
I mean,
good
just-
for academics.
Sometimes academics just need to know that there's a mystery. But do they need to solve it? Does it have to be...
We cannot go back to Sanctuary and say, oh, we find him and he is probably in danger, and so we turn around and leave.
Yeah, it's not good. We all
I could give you a note for Clegis to let him know that I'm fine and that.
No, Clegis will say why you did not stay and help.
Oh. So
And you're saying that this keeps on trying to infect. Wouldn't it eventually wear down your will anyway? And then you'd be angry and you wouldn't be able to write.
blink, blink. That could be interesting.
Or
What if I gave into it?
I-
Experienced it from the other side.
Niet.
Could be an interesting
Yes.
experiment.
I think that this is...
First off, I'll need a control variable.
No, absolutely. Please wait to employ that hypothesis. I think that is for testing later on, not now. Please.
This is okay. If we can't find the answers at Clifftop, then that's our next avenue of experiment.
Okay. This is not exactly what I have asked you to help with. We were only going here to check on this mage, but it would, I think, be best if we assist him at least enough so that he has come back with us. You are willing?
I mean, that's what we signed on for, is to help you get him back.
it would be harder to drag him back, so yes.
Also, I think that probably we are not forget the family that we are find earlier today.
The side quest of the blue lady with the horns.
And also, they would not have had to leave their homes if not for this influence. And I am not like to see children driven out into woods and attacked by snake vines.
We should probably see if there's any other people here in the town that aren't infected and try to get them out of here, though. Or just get them to leave together, you know? There's safety in those numbers.
But what if we go to Clifftop and we find the answer and then we make everything better?
Then they can come back.
I am think maybe that is second option, but we would be asking them to abandon homes, go out into dangerous woods without any guarantee that we would be able to help or
Yeah.
protect them.
Okay, so
Moving
instead
forward.
then we just tell them all to stay in their
Yes,
houses?
they're hiding in rooms. Look at this map.
They have a 4-hour trip, 4-day.
Maybe we
Trip.
are talk to barkeep and we are tell him that we are going to investigate and perhaps we will solve problem, perhaps not, but that hopefully any townspeople who are not already try to kill each other, they should stay home for a while. If they are not already, which probably already they are.
I'm just trying to look at his notes.
Yeah, probably.
As this conversation has been happening, like within seconds, he's distracted again and into his notes, and he kind of pulls one of the books down and starts to flip through it. His notes make a knowledge roll. I would say, first off, before you make any roll, his notes, you can immediately tell he is recording in some sort of a cipher. He's not just like writing out plainly, he is very much having encoded research notes that he's working with. So you can see that without any kind of a knowledge roll. If you wanted to try and figure out what he's saying in these notes, you could make a knowledge roll. But it looks like, I don't know how much practice your character has with ciphers and the like.
Not much.
He does.
I can read, but
Yeah. He seems to be using some sort of a complicated cipher in his notes. There's some like diagrams and rough drawings that you can easily distinguish, but
it's a 5 minus 1 is 4.
hope or fear.
Hope.
Take a hope. You get the hope even on a fail. You
fail with hope.
You fail with hope.
Hey, I did it again!
The
button for that.
whatever cipher he's using it seems to be like a layered cipher that he is mentally translating in his head and interpreting as he goes. As you're kind of looking at it, he brings his book over that he starts flipping through, reading the different pages.
In his notes, I see the tendrils of I don't
Okay.
understand what anything is said, but in his drawings and in his things, I see those lines that I've grown accustomed to seeing everywhere, and yeah.
So he seems to, at this point, it seems like he's forgotten you're even there, and he is absorbed in his research and his hypothesizing and his note-taking in this moment. You hear him kind of mumble a couple of times, like, Clifftop, that's the heart of it. Are the demons from outside? Could they be coming from somewhere else?
How far away is Clifftop? Have you
Look at
guys
the
ever
map.
been there?
Nope.
From the map that you saw him bring out, you would guess it's maybe, and you're not sure on the scale of the map, but you would guess it's a day or two from here. It looks like there's a pretty broad river between the settlement labeled Glade Hollow and what he seemed to be referring to as Clifftop.
It's taken us a day to get here.
You're in the later part of the afternoon at this point, yes.
I'm not against figuring this out. I'm good for a mystery,
That is good to hear. I am glad. The rest of you also.
especially if Mushroom Man won't go home without solving the mystery.
I think that if we are able to figure this out, maybe he comes back with us, or at least we have done a good thing and we will try. Okay, let us go see if there is maybe a room that we can, or rooms that we can have for tonight, and then we are leaving morning. I am not liking idea of going out into these woods at night. What do you think? Duh?
No, I mean, after what we saw today, I think it's probably for the best, you know, especially if we're traveling with,
I am not think that he is
Yeah.
going to come with us.
oh,
I think that he is pretty.
Are you coming
he
with
is
us?
looking very content here.
You ask him a couple times before he finally stops with you and looks up.
Are you coming with us?
Where are we going?
We are.
Where the heart is.
We are going to
Go to
Clifftop.
Clifftop. Where the heart is.
You are?
Duh.
Sure.
I think that's the heart of it all.
Duh.
Do you want to come with us?
That could be where the answers are.
Yes.
Duh.
When are you leaving?
Tomorrow.
We are leave tomorrow morning.
I can be ready.
Duh. You will come with us.
For answers, I'll
Duh.
go anywhere.
That is good. We will get rooms also to stay here, and then we will leave tomorrow.
Excellent. Excellent. Glad Clegg sent you. Yes, yes. Could be quite useful. He starts to scribble again.
You should write that down. We're leaving in the morning.
Yes, yes, yes. I've got it. I've got it.
It helps me to write things down. I don't know.
In his room, is there a window, like, where I can see when it changes from day to night?
Hmm?
Alright.
Okay. Go back downstairs. Talk to Barnabas.
And back down, you're seeing what looks to be the tail end of another fight brawling out on the floor as this big clank is trying to separate them. One of the patrons is like, "Oh, come on, Russ Bucket, let him fight!"
If you are
He just
all to
kinda
get in work out, I think you could probably put in extra work as bouncer.
It looks like that machine thing's got it under control, though. I mean, did you see him? He looks like he's been taking a beating, but he's still going pretty strong.
Okay.
He does at this point kind of like have it settled out, and like the patrons are acting that they want to disregard his authority in this space, but they also seem to have a good bit of respect for the big metal man that towers over them and handles 2 or 3 of them at a time without too much of an issue. Barnabas is still behind the bar, kind of eyeing the whole crowd left and right. Again, seems almost oblivious to you as he's trying to watch around. And you see as you come down, you can see kind of behind the bar in a back room, it looks to be a bunch of recently broken furniture has been piled up over there. And like what's left on the tavern floor is pretty sparse.
I would like to go over to the clank man
Mm-hmm.
and stand there, look at him, and point cautiously to a point in his like elbow or something where there's like a loose wire,
Mm-hmm.
and just like gently, very carefully, just like put my hand out there and do prestidigitation and fix it.
Some of it knits up slightly, and you see it like curls up, but like bends an extra 2 times, and then bends back out, and then back underneath the other way, and straight again. He just says, "Much better.
Good.
Gratitude."
You're welcome.
Barnabas, I think, is the name of the barkeep. You have maybe rooms for this evening that we could have for tonight.
Rooms, multiple.
How many we are need?
You know, maybe.
I ain't got multiple. I got lots of outsiders in the village lately.
You have how many?
I can get you 1 if you don't mind sleeping 2 to a bed.
It's kind of dangerous here. We might even need to, like, you know, have watch.
Okay, that is not bad idea, I guess. That is okay.
That's fine by me. I'm used to sleeping on the floor, so it's okay.
Okay, we will take room. Here is handful of gold.
He says, "What you gave me before will cover it."
Thank you. I am not sure how far handful of gold is going.
He goes over to grab a key, and he just says, "You'd be room opposite Verlo upstairs on the right."
That is excellent. Handful of gold maybe also would cover a meal that we could eat in quiet environment upstairs.
1 meal's included with the room.
How many drinks are included with the room?
You had it.
Oh. Can I have another one?
Sure. Pours another out of the cask, sets it on the table. The froth kind of sloshes out onto the countertop.
Thanks. I've never had drinks like this before, and they are so tasty,
What is it about it that's so tasty to you?
Oh, it's just like, I don't know, it like feels like it's gonna be really thirst quenching, but then it's not at the same time. And if I drink a whole bunch of it at once, I let out this really big air bubble. Oh, it's so cool. You want to see it?
Okay.
See it? It's coming.
You are
it
can
comes
see.
out.
Yeah, like see the air bubble. Do you guys do it when you have it? And I drink like I just drink the whole thing and let out the biggest 10 out of 10 burp.
He just goes, that's Briarberry Seltzer. We're known for it around these parts.
Oh, it's
And
delicious.
then prestidigitation smell from in front of my nose.
Yeah, I might do that too.
But you have a room for the night. It seems some of the other patrons here in the establishment have taken over the rest of the inn, as it were. But yeah, you can have meals provided for you and drinks, should you want to pay for more drinks of the Briarberry Seltzer. Eventually, you settle into your room in the inn for the night. You can still hear the kind of furious scribbling of Verlo in the room across the hall from you.
Jeez, that guy doesn't stop.
Burning a candle from both ends.
I am think that he will be help on the way to clifftop, but also we will all have to try hard not to throw him off of cliff.
I mean,
So that's not a thing you do.
Throw people off cliff?
I mean, I don't.
I have never in my life thrown somebody off of cliff. You
Oh.
have.
No, I mean, I don't want to talk about it.
we don't have cliffs where I'm from. It's
No?
just a dune. You could push someone off of a dune, they'd roll in the sand all the way down. But
I mean, other than the edges of the floating island. Those aren't quite cliffs, but it's a drop. So eventually you pair up in the beds, or some of you. So the beds definitely are not giant sized, despite a giant being also in residence among the Jagged Knife clan that's here.
I typically sleep on stone floor.
She can sleep on the floor. It's not stone on the second level, but you can still sleep on the floor there. Through the night, each of you has a dream that stirs up feelings of rage and violence in you. What is that dream for each of you?
I dream of my life back in my homeland. What the fuck was it called?
Dark Lock.
The Dark Lock, where these bands of people roamed all over, and how my sister had become one of them, and she betrayed our family. I was just a kid, so I didn't quite understand what happened, but she stole all of our goods, ransacked our homes, and fled. And thinking of that, I see the images of the burning of our home and her running away and
Washing ashore as a 10-year-old with no more family. Didn't even know whatever happened to them. And it just, you feel this burning fury. You want to find your sister and punch her in the face as hard and as many times as it takes. Somebody else?
For Suni, her dream is of a party of people, including her and her best friend, going out on like a spiritual hunt to kill one of the wild lizards that live out there in the desert. And they find one and they start fighting it, and it kills her best friend. Just mangles her. And Suni just sees this happen, and everyone else, like, they're just treating it like that's just can happen, and she knows that this can happen, and it's just part of the risk of doing this. But they're just digging the hole, and she has to help dig like that grave to put her friend in and clean the animal, bring that back, and it's just going, and she can't do anything. She can't take any of her emotions out at all. It's just the reality of it is there, and it won't stop.
It's raging against the futility, the feeling of helplessness. And in your dream, you can see that giant lizard. You can feel the spear in your hand as you thrust it and stab at it, piercing its scaly hide. Hearing it scream out brings you pleasure. Anybody else?
In my dream, it's my first day at the academy. And I am very excited. But this part is true. I am give answer in class, and there is boy wearing very nice outfit, very fancy clothes, and he is say something to friend next to him about to make fun of the way I talk of accent, and they both start laughing. And well, when I am boy, this is really happen. I am trying to hit him, but leg is give out and I am fall, and they are just laugh harder. But in dream, I am look at this boy and his friend, and I am take deep breath, and I am breathe out, and it is lightning, and I am watch them consumed by lightning, and they are begin to scream, and I am continue to breathe lightning until they are gone.
Until the screams stop.
Smoking ash. Not just until screams stop, but until laughter stop.
Zira?
So a dream where I am in a rage.
Not necessarily
That
that you're in a
prompt again. I
rage.
got really
The-
involved in their story.
You have dreams that give you feelings of rage. So it's not necessarily that you are enraged in the dream, but like the imagery, the scenarios in the dreams enrage you as a person.
Okay, so I think in my dream I am with my baby goat Kara, and Brindra has her baby goat too. We got ours on the same day, and it's like a lifetime in one dream where you're just watching your goat grow and my teacher, Kordak, thanks. Kordak, well, he tells us that we're gonna have to kill our baby goats the next day. And gosh, in my dream, I guess I watched Brindra do it, and just after our whole lives of raising our goats, and she just did it. She just knows what she has to do, and she gets it done, and I don't know, and then I go to do it, and I hesitated, and as I went to throw my baby goat, I didn't. Well, I did, but I went to, and I woke up as I was falling down the cliff.
And as you wake up from this dream, these feelings of rage still bubbling up inside of you, can see the first rays of morning lights just starting to peek through. But here, deep in the briarwood, not much sunlight makes it down beneath under the canopy. As your senses are coming to, you realize you smell smoke. You look over, you can see an orange glow underneath the door leading out into the hallway outside.
Oh, geez, fire! There's fire! Do you?
And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh, snap.
With the inn afire. The mage has been found. Verlo has been found.
I've
But
come a flame again!
these feelings of rage sinking in upon you.
Sweet.
That's where we'll pick it up.
One of them.
Oh boy!
Thank you all for joining us. Hopefully we see you next Monday as we continue this adventure further down the line and rage influences the party. We will see you all next week.